What's happening, family? It's your man, CRB Jr., Courtney Robert Brown Jr. here at the Motown Mafia show. Hope all is well out there in Facebook, internet, TV, YouTube spaces. You know, the world we live in. Not to forget about TikTok TV and Instagram TV and all associated platforms. But for you guys who don't know, one of the businesses me and my family are involved in is the legal cannabis business. And we were just on CNN the other day, ran a big, not a big story, but a story that Anderson Cooper was anchoring about. And there's a phenomenon going on in California, which is, of course, the cannabis capital of America and probably outside of two or three other places on the world, the cannabis capital of the world. Hoboken County up there in the Golden Triangle has been easily for more than half a century ground zero for cannabis cultivation. And of course, California in 1995 was the first state to legalize medical marijuana. So California's been ahead of the curve. Then of course from California went Oregon, Colorado, and now I believe over half of the states in the union have legalized cannabis, whether it be medical, recreational, in some form or another. But what's going on in California, according to CNN, is that the Chinese mafia and Chinese organized criminals are buying luxury homes in California and converting them into full-scale cannabis grow houses.
Tonight, a new CNN investigation. Authorities across the country say that family homes in suburban U.S. neighborhoods are being used to grow weed, fueling the black market marijuana industry. It's creating a big problem for law enforcement, particularly in a state like California, where the growers face little in criminal penalties. CNN's Kyung La has more.
This upscale California suburb is a glimpse into an underground world where authorities say a Chinese crime ring feeds America's black market.
Police, search warrant, demand entry!
Doors and windows heavily fortified at 3 different homes on the same block in this bedroom community of San Francisco. When officers finally break through, inside, it's a massive marijuana farm. These are family homes worth nearly $1 million. The interior unrecognizable. Every part of the home used to grow weed.
This is from the nursery. There's no desk, just based off of the way it's set up.
Windows boarded up to control the light. A massive ventilation system running full blast. Intricate electrical setups to power lights and fans. A generator in the laundry room.
Somebody hauled that up here.
Mold can be seen growing on walls and ceilings. Runoff into makeshift drains. And room after room after room filled with marijuana.
Couldn't even tell this is a master bedroom.
It's easy to disguise it here. You're not growing outside, you're growing indoors. And as long as the house looks nice and the yard's taken care of, nobody's going to question what's going on inside.
Investigators say this bust snagged more than $1 million worth of illegal weed, cultivated by unlicensed growers, using chemicals without regard for safety that end up in the plants. Despite the growth of the legalized marijuana industry, most pot is still sold on the illegal black market.
Now you say, well, there's a contradiction there, right? That if cannabis is legal in California, why is there a whole business and people still it's so profitable that the Chinese mafia will infiltrate the California real estate market so that they can grow their cannabis off the grid, right? Well, it's because those other 25 states where cannabis is not illegal, or is not legal rather, where cannabis is still illegal, it creates a huge demand. And, you know, obviously those who know the backstory of the Motown Mafia story of my pop and Eddie Jackson and all our associates and friends who were involved in that life, people are going to do what people do. People have been smoking marijuana for time memorial, for centuries, right? They're going to do it. The American Medical Association says there's over 660 medicinal purposes for cannabis, right? Now, the fact that it was made illegal and villainized in that shoot as early as the late 70s, you got stiffer criminal penalties for selling marijuana than you did for cocaine. Seems kind of absurd, right? In fact, someone connected with the Motown Mafia family story, Zach Garrett, brother of the Brewster Project legend, Ronald 5-0 Garrett. Zach Garrett, my dad tells me, got caught in the late 50s with 2 joints of reefer and did 10 years. Now we sell grams of marijuana on demand to anybody who's 21 years or older. So just think, how far we've come, but so how far we still have to go. So now the authorities in California are spending all this money and all these investigations trying to find these luxury homes that are being converted into, because the Chinese mob sets up these grow houses in very affluent suburbs, like $1 million houses, where as long as they keep the lawns manicured and everything, nobody questions what's going on inside of there.
California produces about 40% of the nation's weed. Much of what's grown here will be shipped across the country and sold far cheaper than legal weed. How many houses have you hit in Antioch?
About 50.
How many more might exist in Antioch?
Somewhere between 100 to 200 houses.
Up to 200 that they think they know of. Law enforcement says this criminal enterprise can operate in California more easily than anywhere else in the country, because California law says illegally growing weed is just a misdemeanor in most cases.
It's relatively low risk, huge reward.
This, whether you have one plant or a truck full of plants, what is the penalty in California?
It's a misdemeanor in California.
And that offers an opportunity, says law enforcement, for organized crime. Inside these suburban grow houses, on walls and doors, instructions in Chinese. CNN reviewed Antioch search warrants as well as online property records and found that in nearly every grow house busted in Antioch, almost all of them go back to a Chinese owner or occupant.
It's really the Chinese criminal syndicate that's dominant.
Why would the Chinese cartel care about marijuana?
Because it's so lucrative. It is a very profitable crop.
And it's not just in California.
We are starting to see, as we unpack this, more ties between a lot of these growing operations and Chinese organized crime.
22 states have illegal grow operations, says Senator Susan Collins, a member of the Intelligence Committee, including her state of Maine.
Why are Chinese transnational criminal groups here in the United States buying up these homes and growing illegal marijuana in them? It's difficult for me to believe that there isn't some sort of plot involved.
How much of this bleeds into a national security issue?
I believe it does pose a serious national security threat as well as a public health risk.
And the weed that they're growing in there, though, doesn't get sold predominantly in California, but it's getting shipped to the Arkansas and Tennessees and Utahs and places where the authorities have just decided to still live in denial that there are people in Utah who want to smoke marijuana, that there are people in Arkansas who want to smoke marijuana. There's people in Louisiana who want to smoke marijuana. But we just continue this criminalization of thinking that you can make that you can legislate vice or that you can legislate morality. And personally, again, our family business, we have a dispensary in Bay City, Michigan. Me and a partner, and the family, funded and got us up and going with that. I've heard so many testimonials of people who had anxieties, never could go to a family reunion or go to a class reunion till they start eating edibles. The people who are on chemo, who can't eat and are losing weight and they can't sleep. I mean, Because the media for 100 years said that people are getting high. High means people are having fun. So the medicinal purposes, or the fact that it's okay to drink scotch, right? But because 2 shots of scotch after a long day at work makes you feel better, makes you a better dad, makes you a better mom, right? That it's okay for mom to have a glass of wine at lunch after the kids have stressed her out a little bit, getting them ready for school and getting their breakfast together. You can't tell people that. I literally have had over 10 moms who, like, on their way to pick up their kids from school, will run into the dispensary, grab a pre-roll, grab a pack of gummies, and be like, yo, I'm really stressed out right now and I don't want to be a jerk to my kids. So let me hit this pre-roll 2 times. Let me eat one of these 100-milligram gummies and just relax so I can be a decent mom. Now, we can say what we want to say, oh, that's bad, that's good, but what it is real. What it is the truth.
All right, this is Al Prophet. You might know me from YouTube. Courtney Brown and Lou are doing their Patreon. We're moving over from YouTube to a lot of exclusive content only visible on their Patreon. So go to the Big Boss Filmworks Patreon for a lot of exclusive content, and not saddled by commercials and not saddled by the vagaries of what you can and can't show on YouTube.
Appreciate that, fam. So yeah, fam, we got a lot of hot stuff coming. We're moving over some stuff that we have put out that for whatever reason got relocated, never got the attention that it was supposed to. And then we got some fresh stuff that's been done. A lot of stuff here with our content partner and American Dope, Al Prophet. And then some internal stuff, some exclusive interviews with street legends all over the country.
Uncut raw.
So a lot
of. Have to deal with YouTube censoring and all that.
Certain specific details of some of the things from the 40 years that the family was in the streets that we just could not go into on YouTube. We can do it on Patreon. So we think it's going to be freeing. We're going to really be able to give you guys some raw, uncut stuff. And it's going to be hot, man. I'm looking forward to it. So
Patreon.
Again, Patreon. Holla at you, man.
From the makers of Motown Mafia, beyond the headlines, beyond the crime, beyond the glamours and gold, they don't run around the streets. They run the streets. Beyond Street Dreams. Documentary coming soon to Amazon Prime, Tubi, and Pluto TV.
Are you ready to take control of your health and fight cancer with confidence? Author and 32-year, 6-time cancer survivor, Karen Stevens underwent treatment without chemotherapy or radiation. Discover the power of knowledge with Karen Knocks Out Cancer 6-0. This book is your guide to making informed decisions and understanding your options when dealing with cancer. Empower yourself to be an active participant in your health journey, never a passive victim. Gain a comprehensive understanding of cancer and the vital role you play in your health choices and decisions. Let this book help you remove the fear from cancer with the power of knowledge. Always remember to seek professional medical advice and make the best health choices in a timely manner. Find out how Karen and others knocked out cancer without chemotherapy or radiation. By the end of Karen Knocks Out Cancer 6-0, you'll have a profound understanding of cancer. Be informed, positive, proactive, prepared, and persistent in your fight. Get the book today. KarenKnocksOutCancer.com, also available on Amazon and Kindle. Leave a review when you've read the book.